Disney adults are that way because of mental illness.
What?
So last year when I spent a day with Curtis Connor, he mentioned that we should do an episode with Disney adults, and that is this episode, and damn, things get spicy.
Yeah, things get controversial. Let's get into it. Caitlin Dunn said they never really had a childhood.
I mean, I've said it before, everybody's situation is different. Like to clump every single Disney adult into the same category, it doesn't work. Like for me, I had a wonderful childhood. My family was all together and we would do many things. And Disney was a big part of my childhood. And I never feel like I'm trying to get back there. I always think of sports because I think of little kids who were in Little League and then they go on to high school to play baseball. And then they're all into baseball their entire lives. Like they're not trying to grasp what they had in Little League. They're just enjoying something they've always loved. And that's where we're from, you know? Like we loved Disney when we were younger, or maybe we found it later on in life, or whatever the case may be. Like it's not universal. Not everybody, some people maybe, they didn't have a childhood, they didn't get to go when they were younger. So now that they're grown up and they have their own money, heck yeah, you know, they're gonna go and spend all their money at Disney, and good for them, but everybody's different.
People don't call people baseball adults. Why do they call them Disney adults? We're Disney adults. We enjoyed Disney as children. We enjoy Disney as adults. Why do we have to be, named Disney adults? No one else is. You're not a football adult if you played football as a child and now you go to football games.
Right.
I mean,
and we don't judge. We don't judge at all. Go to football. Go to the games. Paint your face. Wear your little cute little.
Yeah. You guys have a mascot that you like to take pictures with too. So don't be mad at me for taking a picture with Mickey Mouse.
I think that they think that you missed out on something, but no, actually, if you're a Disney adult, we didn't really miss out on much. We got a lot of Disney.
Yes.
You can love it for your entire life, and you don't have to feel bad for it at any time that you love it at any age.
When people come at people for liking something, I'm like, okay, was there a certain point in age where you were just supposed to stop liking it? Because that didn't happen. Like I've liked certain foods my whole life, you know? So I'm like, if I still like it, if somebody still likes something, I don't understand why people are mad at them for still liking it or trying to find a reason why they still like it for so long.
I have a quote from, "My profile picture is a fish. Only problem I have with them is how strongly they support a company like Disney."
I mean, there's tons of corporations, big corporations that have negative things that have happened that we still support every day. Like Amazon, Walmart, Target, whatever.
I feel like there's always room for improvement.
And
always room for improvement.
Right.
In every single company. And I don't think anybody fully supports one company at all times. If they do something that we don't agree with, like we do speak up. We say, oh, yeah, I didn't like that very much. That's not okay. So to have that assumption that we will back Disney no matter what they do, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think a lot of really big Disney fans, they're most interested in the nostalgia in it. They're most interested in the company, what it once was when they were younger. They really take it to heart, but they don't stand with it 100% all the time.
Right.
And I don't think there's a company out there that any of us would just stand with all the time.
Right.
They're going to make decisions that we don't like.
Because they do listen. Like when we are loud, they listen, you know? We appreciate that. Like, hey, we want this. And sometimes we're like, yes, we get it. You know? Like, I'm really excited for the Tiana, right? So it's like, I'm like, yes, Disney, go, you know?
Yes, I already have my outfit.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, we support them when they do the right thing. And if they go negatively, then we will call them out for it. And that's pretty much where we stand.
Disney adults go to the park every single day.
Some people do go a lot, but for me personally, I try to go at least once every couple of months, but sometimes it's like once every 4 or 5 months.
You don't always have to be in the parks.
Right.
Just because you're dressed in Disney clothes or whatever, it's not.
I wear Disney every day.
Literally same.
Every day.
And that's fine. So like if you're taking a selfie and you have on Disney clothes and people were like, oh, are you at Disneyland? No, I'm at home. And that's okay.
Disney adults have a weird obsession with people who have died at Disneyland.
What?
Do y'all have any obsessions with death?
I like to joke. I tell my friends, and I have told my wife that I would like my ashes spread there.
Isn't that illegal though?
Okay.
I'm sure that is.
But people do it. I've seen that.
Really?
I'm totally
Yeah.
joking. Well, sort of. But the problem is, if you do take the ashes there and you drop them there, they will ban you for life. That's supposedly what the
that's
case
what I
is.
heard.
Now, that's changed a little bit. It was a big thing for a while, certainly. It definitely was a big thing. Spread your ashes there.
There is this conception that Disneyland, nothing bad happens at Disneyland. And there's all these conspiracy theories that they have people who like hide things, and like they always say like nobody gets arrested in Disneyland. Nobody ever, like nothing ever bad happens, you know? So I'm wondering if they're talking about like people talking about, oh, this person has died here and they covered it up. But I mean, we're not upset. We don't talk about that.
No,
So I don't think.
I've never even thought to talk about that. But
Yeah, I've run into some folklore about people being
Yeah.
obsessed with who has passed away there, being there. Like, there were some kids I think in the 60s or 70s who tried to swim out to the island, the Mark Twain Island, and one of them drowned.
Oh, that's so
and
sad.
stories like that. And there's books about it.
Yeah.
You know, there's books about people who died there. There was like always a rumor that somebody like was killed on Big Thunder Mountain. There's like rumors like that and stuff. I think people like that stuff. It's almost like a true crime kind of thing. I think they're
Yeah.
interested
True crime,
in the crazy stories that have
Yeah.
happened there. I mean, I find it sad. I don't really want to know
Yeah,
about it.
me either.
I think that's just a kind of a creepier side of thinking about Disneyland.
That's definitely a
but-
misconception, because nobody I've ever talked to, we don't
that's
talk
the first
about
time
who has
I've
passed
ever
away.
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so no, that one's a no.
Scumrat says, I'm all for people loving what they love however they want at any age, as long as they don't snatch away opportunities from children, for which most Disney media is made for.
First of all, who said it's made for children? Like, there's no label that says this is literally for a child. And how are you snatching an opportunity from a child?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, the parks are made for children, they're made for adults, they're made for everyone. And Walt Disney said it himself when he created the park. It's for families, it's for children of all ages, adults of all ages. That's why we're there.
Yes.
No one's going to take away another person's experience by being at the park. You're not going to get in the way of anybody else. It's just, there's plenty of space for the adults, there's plenty of space for the children.
Right.
And children can't come there without the adults. So
That's
I mean,
true.
we bring the children
That's
there.
true.
And so it's like we're helping the children by being there, showing them things. I just took my nephew for the first time a few weeks ago. You know, he's 10 years old. It was unbelievable. It was amazing. I don't think that any Disney adult would ever imagine possibly taking away the magic or experience of a child.
I've never seen anybody be like, oh, there's one balloon left and this kid wants it. It's mine. Like, no, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And if you do, you're probably just a bad person in general.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's different. No,
Yeah.
I've never experienced that.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
And I think as annual pass holders, we get to go there so often.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a general sentiment among pass holders where like, we get to come here another time. You know, somebody's coming in here is going to get one chance to ever ride that ride.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's part of the common feeling of Disneyland is we all know that there's a bunch of people there that go there all the time. There's a bunch of people there that don't get to go all the time. And we're all there together and we're all enjoying it and we all love it together.
Disney adults are that way because of mental illness.
I don't know.
What?
I mean, I always say, like, we never know what somebody's going through. And if this is their way of coping through something difficult in their life, do it. You know, do whatever you need to be happy in your life. You know, if going to a park where you don't have to worry about anything, like you could just watch a parade or get on a ride or get some food or sit down and enjoy the environment, the music, do that if that's what makes you feel good. And I always say, like, that is very generalized. Maybe some people do and maybe some people don't. And it's not that everybody does. It's not, oh, if you like Disney, you have a mental health issue. Yeah. That's not the case. Absolutely not. Like, you can say that about anything. You can say that about loving a certain movie too much. I've heard people watch Die Hard like 100 times. Like, do they have a mental health issue? Doubtful. Like, they just love the movie, you know, or maybe they do. Like, I don't think it's appropriate to generalize it that much because it's not true.
You don't know where people are coming from. You don't know how anybody's journey. It's a singular journey for everyone. It's not anybody's business why we like these things. We like them. We're going to bring them to you. We don't have to tell you why. We don't have to tell you if it's any reason whatsoever. But everybody's like, oh, why do you like this? Why do you like that? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, you're crazy if you like this. I don't care what you think. You know, here I am. I'm telling you what I love. I love Disneyland, and I'm going to bring it to you. If you like that, great. If you don't, see you later. And I feel like mental illness is just an easy way out of people being able to say that you have some sort of mental illness. I mean, like, they wouldn't say, like, you say football's a mental illness, you have CTE, you know, I mean, it's like, I mean, it's like, it's just too easy. It's not, it's an easy way to attack us.
Because I think that's what bothers me, that they're using it as an insult. And I'm like, why are you using something that somebody suffers from as an insult? Like, that's not nice. Like, don't do that. Don't say, oh, this person looks crazy to me, so I'm going to say you have mental illness. Or I don't understand why this person likes this, so you have mental illness. Like, putting such a negative connotation to that. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong. Like, people don't choose to have a mental illness, you know? Like, I just don't like that they use that as an insult. It really bothers me because a lot of people do suffer a lot. And I'm like, that's not nice. It's just so mean.
People do get upset a lot. Well, I've seen when people say, Disney is my therapy.
Yeah.
And some people respond to that and say, well, it's not therapy. You need to go get a therapist. Mickey Mouse is not your therapist.
Oh my goodness. They're taking it too seriously. Like, if they're not literally going to Mickey, hey, let me tell you about my day, you know?
Right, like, where's the couch so I can lay down? Mickey, I got a lot to tell you.
So they're just so silly.
People only like Disney so much as an adult because they have childhood trauma.
I mean, well, I do have childhood trauma, but that's not the only reason.
But not non-Disney related.
Right, that's true, yeah. Disney actually helped me through my childhood trauma.
So first of all, no. But second of all, like, what are they implying by that? Are they saying, like, they suffered as a child, so they went to something that makes them happy? Like, why is that even bad? You know, like, some people might have childhood. Like, I know people who said when we were little, we had no money. We dreamt of going to Disneyland. Yeah, like, families struggle, you know, and parents struggle too. Like, I have seen videos of, like, elderly people being taken to Disneyland. I'm in tears because they never imagined in their life they would experience something like that. And I'm just like, and yeah, maybe they're healing their childhood trauma of never being able to experience something so wonderful. And I don't see how somebody can look at that and just generalize it and be like, everybody's like that and they're crazy for it. I'm just like, this makes no sense.
The Sharkster 1718 says it's either their entire personality or something that they keep in their heart to stay young in a really good way.
Okay, not that we do it on purpose, and I don't know, I'm speaking for myself here. I remember one time I was in school and somebody asked me, hey, do you work for Disney? And I'm like, no, why? And I look over, my laptop case was Mickey, my water bottle was Mickey, I was wearing a Mickey Mouse sweater, everything was Disney. And I was like, oh, I was like, no, you know, but I like other things. I just happen to really, really like this. So if somebody decides to say, oh, she's the Disney person, that's them labeling me. I don't go and say, hi, my name is Amy. I love Disney. Like, no. Like, I don't, like, bring it up, like, every chance I get. Like, if it comes up, then I talk about it. I'm knowledgeable about it.
Right.
But I've never seen anyone who makes it their entire personality.
No, not at all. And even for me, like, I'm not local. I'm still in California. But if I'm wearing something Disney back home, people are like, oh, you must have just went to Disneyland or you're going to Disneyland. And I'm like, no, I just dress like this. But it's not my personality, my whole personality. Like you said, there's so many different fandoms out there. I love Harry Potter too. There's tons of movies, music.
Oh, yeah.
It's not my whole personality.
Right, yeah, for sure.
We all have different levels to us and different fandoms.
Yeah.
And Disney is a big one, obviously, but we're kind of chameleons. We can change from one thing to the other, you know, and when we represent different things, making it in your entire personality, somebody trying to say that is basically trying to say that you don't have anything else to do in life. You know, you're not interesting otherwise. This is the only thing that you've ever been and the only thing that you'll ever do. And that's absolutely not true. Now, we all know it's not a thing that people are going to be doing 24/7, 100% of their lives.
And if they do, good for them. I mean,
Exactly.
why
It
does
makes
it
you
matter?
happy. Go right ahead.
Eliza Lal 222 said they're always theater kids. Always.
What is a theater kid?
And see, so obviously you're not one, and I'm not one either. Even though I am pretty theatrical and like a little but crazy, but no, I'm not a theater kid. I've heard that though. A lot of people think that people who love Disney are either like we're theater kids. It just means
No, but literally, what is a theater kid?
someone who was in plays or did things like that.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah.
Live
Oh
theater.
yeah, no, obviously
Right. No. Were you?
I was a musician for years.
Oh, okay.
I was not a theater person. I maybe
Yeah.
did some theater in high school.
Okay.
But I was a musician for years, and I sang and I played, rock and roll stuff toured all over the country and stuff like that. I mean, I think showman people that are show like business people that do theater, people that do music, do anything, they've always been touched by something Disney at some point, no matter how hard they might be at heart when something has touched them, as in
Right.
Disney. And when Disney makes films, music is a huge part of it. So I think that's why people assume that we always have a music background, but it's not necessarily the case.
Alfie Plays says, I assume they buy any and every piece of Disney merch they can find.
I do feel like we buy the things we like. I think
Right.
maybe that assumption comes from the fact that we do like a lot of it.
That's true.
A lot of it is really cute, so we do want it. But
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody need every single ear like
No.
headband or every single backpack. Like I know, unless you collect it.
Yeah,
But no.
there's so many different tiers
Yeah.
of people who love different. There's pin collectors, there's
Yes.
bag collectors, there's ears. There's so many things. But even if you do love that thing, you're not gonna get every single thing. I collect Loungefly bags, and even still with my collection, I don't have tons of one thing. I mean, okay. I do have a lot. Some people would say that's a lot, but we know there are people who have whole rooms
Girl, that's
filled
me.
with things.
That's
Yes.
me.
And that's
I'm guilty
fine.
right now. When you said that, like, and everyone who knows me knows that I always get asked, "Show me your bags. Show me your bags."
Yeah.
And I only buy the ones I love, and unfortunately, I love a lot of them. So, girl, yes, I have a whole room
Yes.
dedicated to my Loungefly collection. So.
I do have a room,
Yeah.
but it's not just it's Loungeflies, but also some Funko Pops. I don't collect literally every single Funko Pop.
I am a married man, and I have a very limited amount of space. In Los Angeles, California, where, every 2 feet costs $1,000. So
Yeah.
when things are coming in, I intercept them quickly. And I say, come into the mail. I say, where is this going to fit? I have to be careful for sure. Because it's just so easy. It's easy to make these collections so easy.
Oh,
and it's gonna fill your space.
100%. It piles up. Because I was like, I don't have that many. Because I'm not buying every single thing. So when you're
Right.
buying one by one, and then later on you look and say, oh my goodness, there's 20 of them now.
Disney adults have disposable income.
So far from the truth. I did not grow up going to Disney. I didn't go for the first time until I was 13. But one reason that I did love Disney so much is that I grew up with the movies. We can afford those. We can get the VHSs and everyone can gather around and watch Disney movies. But no, as for disposable income, no. We work very hard.
Yes. Oh yeah, no, parents are definitely not rich.
No.
Absolutely. I've never met somebody whose parents are rich and pay for all their Disney stuff.
I wish.
But honestly, I think that assumption might come from the fact that like if a family of 4 tries to go to Disneyland right now, it's so expensive. Like they're gonna spend probably anywhere from $1,000 to even $2,000. So I feel like people think that's what we spend every time we go, but they don't know like the annual pass, yes, it's expensive. It's $1,600 right now for like no blockout dates.
Yeah.
But we don't like go and spend $500 or $1,000 every time we go.
No.
But no, like when we were little, we would go to Disneyland like once a year, and it was our family vacation, and it was expensive. So I can understand why they think that, but absolutely not.
People shouldn't live stream at the Disney amusement parks.
What live streaming is in its, deep down is bringing the parks to people who can't see them.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's an incredible benefit to people. People feel as though that has worth. People want to attack live streamers, want to attack Disney adults or influencers. sure, fine, but we are bringing something that people want to see.
One time when I was, I don't remember what I posted, but somebody asked me in the comments, they said, can you please live stream the electrical parade? And I was like, oh my gosh, like I never thought of it that way. I was like, they're never going to be able to see it. And I was like, of course, you know, and I just did it. And I was like, oh, like this is probably why people are going on rides, and like people that can never go to Disneyland, they experience it that way. So I feel like as long as you're not like bumping people out of the way or anything like that,
no, that's different.
I feel like it's fine.
Disney adults support woke Disney. What does that mean?
If what they mean by that is that we support inclusion, then yes, 100% we do.
Yes.
Like I saw the video of that little boy watching Encanto, and when he saw the character that looked just like him, I was like, that is what it is about. I got chills.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, and like I'm like, please keep giving us that. Keep giving us Encanto, Turning Red. Like all these kids get to grow up with somebody they get to see, you know? So I think if that's what they mean by it, yes. I mean, personally, I do, you know, and I don't know anybody else who does not support inclusion and people feeling welcome at the parks at all times and with movies and everything, you know?
So it makes me sad, so sad, especially like we were talking about like Splash Mountain. I know. But Princess Tiana, she's not my favorite princess, but I love her so much. I didn't grow up with a Black princess. I was an adult when Princess and the Frog came out. And I'm so proud and I'm so happy, and seeing people like boycotting it and so mad about them changing it. Oh my God, it's making me a little emotional.
Yeah.
But I just think that people need to open their minds and know that change is okay, especially for something like that. It's a positive change.
They're taking a stand. They're like, we're going to change these things, and we know it's for the good. And we're not going to listen to a bunch of internet trolls be like, oh, you changed my ride, and my childhood is gone, and blah, blah, blah.
Your childhood still happened. You know that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then these people are saying, my childhood is gone, Disney adult. You know? They can't have it both ways.
Right.
Chloe Death God says, I don't think I've ever met a non-American Disney adult.
Whoa. There are tons of people from the UK, Australia, who literally specifically come to America for Disney.
Yeah.
There are Disney parks, like we just said, in other countries. So what?
Yeah. I follow a lot of Paris content creators and people in Australia who go to Disney World or Paris a lot.
Yes.
I haven't come across a Japan creator, but I know they're a lot more respectful over there with how they film and stuff.
Yes.
So I don't know what's allowed over there or not, but of course, like they have the outfits, like you said, they have amazing outfits. So yeah, no, I definitely don't think it's just an American thing. My family's Mexican, and they're obsessed with Disney. And Mexico, oh my goodness. In Mexico, you will see Mickey Mouse everywhere. Yes. There are piñatas all over the place. Like, it's insane. So definitely not just an American thing.
Oh.
It's huge. It's a worldwide phenomenon, Disney. The IP is huge. Exactly. You can show Mickey Mouse to any child all over the world. They will know who he is. They will know his name. They will know exactly who that is. And how many different things on any brand, a worldwide brand, could possibly show up like that. And Mickey is still enduring to this day. He's 100 years old. It's kids light up when they see Mickey, you know. It's a thing. It's a thing all over the world. So it would be ridiculous to say that's not a thing.
Disney shouldn't remake their old properties. It should just stay that way forever.
I appreciate the remakes, some more than others.
Yeah, I think that's like with any movie, to be honest. Like some movies that do sequels, they're like, oh, that was a good idea to do a sequel. Someone's like, that didn't need a sequel. It's okay. I feel like something's never going to be as good as the original if you enjoyed it that much, but you can appreciate or who knows, sometimes the remakes are better. I think it really just depends on what it is and who's watching it and their opinion of it.
I think some of the remakes are a little weaker than others. I don't think that they shouldn't do it. I do think that right now that they've done so many that it's just getting a little too much. They don't need to remake every single one.
But sometimes they'd make something like Maleficent, and everyone's like, "Wow, yes, like fantastic," you know. And that's technically a remake of Sleeping Beauty. So it's like it's actually, I don't know, it's hit and miss.
I like that they can take some old cartoons and then make the old animation and make the new movies and make them better. Like I love the new Little Mermaid. That was really awesome. And which was amazing. Like, and I think that's great that they can do that. And people that would be upset that it changed, it just goes back to everything we spoke about before. And they're going to be upset about the change about something like that. It's like, it's ridiculous. That's taking an old property and making it even better, you know, making it newer, and bringing it to a new audience and new children, new kids that haven't seen this kind of stuff. You know, they haven't grown up with these movies like, and that magic doesn't really go away.
A lot of people assume Disney adults all want to work at the parks.
No, that's not true. I know a lot of people who have worked for Disney and then they didn't end up liking it. I don't think I would want to. I feel like it might ruin the magic, but no, I definitely don't want to.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who do, a lot of people who aspire to do it.
Yes.
And not even half and half, it's just some do, some don't. But personally, I don't want to work there. I like going there.
Yeah.
When you walk into Disneyland, that's where you're like, all right, I'm going to have fun. I'm just going to let everything go. And I'm not going to think about work. And if you go in there and that's your work, it's kind of like, I don't want to mix those two. But some people love it. And I'm so happy. And I think it's hard because a lot of people, when they get that position, they're so happy and excited. They're like, I finally got hired. I'm like, good for them, you know?
Yes. There is one thing that I would love to do if I did work at Disneyland. I would want to be one of the fairy godmothers in training. I've been because seeing the little kids and like getting them all dressed up and like putting fairy dust on them, that would be my job.
Yeah, making magic for sure for the little ones.
They're either really funny to be around or really horrible, and there's no exceptions.
I wonder who she's hanging out with.
Right. Girl, come hang with us because who are you around?
Hanging out the wrong people for sure.
No, I mean, I guess that just depends on your preference of who you hang out with. Like sometimes if you hang out with somebody and they have nothing in common with you, then you're just not comfortable in that situation. But that's a really big generalization, I feel.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh my goodness, come on now.
I've met a lot of people. I haven't disliked one of them, you know? So I don't know.
What brings you the most joy about Disney or the Disney community?
For me, I was shocked at how kind the Disney community is. Like, I came into social media without knowing anything. My friends convinced me to start a public page, and I didn't know there was a Disney community. I didn't know what that was. So I just started posting, and out of nowhere, I get flooded with people saying, oh my goodness, like, your outfit is so pretty, and you seem so nice. And then you meet these people, and I was shocked by how many like-minded, kind people there are in this community. And I'm just so grateful that I got brought to that because it is difficult to find people who love this as much as you do.
Yes.
And this was a way to just be right there and you get to do things that you both like, you know? So that's what shocked me the most, how kind and welcoming everybody was.
There are so many positive communities. Like that's one of the reasons that I got into creating content about Disney was because I found #Black Girl Disney. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I was so happy, and I've met lifelong friends. I felt like I've made family.
Yeah.
And that's probably the one thing that I love about Disney. It's a community, it's family, like we all have something in common that we love and enjoy, and having other people to experience it with just makes it so much better.
Yeah, the community is 100% the friends that we're all making down the road. You know, it's like I wouldn't know all these great people if it weren't for the fact that I became a Disney influencer, a Disney adult, and there are a lot of amazing people in the community for sure. Yeah. And I think also a lot of the energy from the park itself, from the CMs itself, I get a lot of energy from them because they're really, really into it, and you know, they really love that place, and they're the people that make that place happen. So that makes me incredibly happy every time I go there, just to be like, you know, think about how all the years and years of different people's mothers and fathers who've worked there, people, you know, grandmothers who've worked there and stuff like that down the line. It's just, there's an incredible amount of history there, and that makes me really happy to think about that, you know, and that whole community as well. I was gonna ask you guys, do you guys get Disney hangovers?
Oh my goodness, yes. Because, you know, since I'm not local, I'm still recovering from the last trip. Oh my goodness.
I think when you're it's one of those, when I'm in Disneyland, I will walk like 2,500 steps or 25,000 steps, and like I won't even think anything of it. And then when I get to my car, I'm like, oh my gosh, my fear. And the next day you're so tired.
Oh my God, what did I just do?
Literally the next morning, I'm like, so sore. And I'm like, I'm getting too old for this. I'm old for all
That's my
this,
thing. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting a little old for this now.
It's time to just people watch it out.
And then not just the hangover, but a couple days later, you're like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm really, really tired. And then a couple days later, we're like, I could just go right back.
Yeah.
You know, like I could.
Then the Disney withdrawals come in. It's like, I miss it.
So we're essentially drunk on Disney at points. So it's hangovers, withdrawals, everything. We're going to Disneyland.